We could invest the entire hour making fun of the Philadelphia Flyers. We could do that, theoretically. And I'm sure that it would not particularly bother too many of the locals. As it is, we're probably only going to invest part of the show, benevolent as we are, in making fun of the Philadelphia Flyers. Claude Giroux, of course, having been arrested last night in Ottawa and having spent the night in jail for grabbing the buttocks of an Ottawa police officer. And if you think I made that up, check the internets. It's everywhere. And it's legit. It's incredible. That happening to another franchise would be, or, another player would be, whatever. Flyers? Are you kidding me? The Penguins have made a bunch of moves. Non-moves, let some guys go over the last 48 hours. That's going to be the bulk of our focus today. I want to hear from you about that at 412-320-7925. Today, the Penguins signed Steve Downey, who, of course, is formerly of the Flyers, and a bit of a head case, to be generous. I'm going to be honest with you here, and I know some of you won't like it. I have no use for this signing. I have no use for this player. I didn't like it when the Flyers traded Max Talbot for him. I don't like the Penguins getting him. Those things that you thought, or that some people thought that James Neal was, meaning this undisciplined, running all over the place, taking stupid penalties, that actually is Steve Downey. That's who he is. Complete loose cannon. The guy can actually play. That's not an opinion. He's done it. He's done it in the past. And in fairness, he scored 22 goals in Tampa when Rick Tocchet was head coach. And Tocchet, of course, will have him here. So he had his best season under Tocchet. Maybe that's the Penguins' thinking. But to me, for the Penguins to get tougher, for them to become a more mentally and even physically tough team, it's not going to be through guys like Steve Downey. I'm not even bringing up the fact that he missed a good chunk of last season in Philadelphia with a concussion. You're guaranteeing him $1 million. Why? Why? If you're giving a guy 1 year at $1 million, you know what you're basically saying is that guy could have been had for nothing. That means that the other 29 teams just flat out weren't interested. Why would the Penguins be? Why would the Penguins send out a guy like James Neal? And again, I'm in favor of that trade, so kind of set that apart independently. But why would you send out Neal and throw out all these hints and suggestions that part of the reason that you sent him out is his lack of discipline and the bad penalties that he takes on the ice? James Neal was good for one really dumb suspension a year. He had 3 of them in his time with the Penguins. He was here for about 3.5 years. Big deal. It's not. He wasn't running around taking regular stupid offensive zone penalties that just make you go, what's in your head? Are you even thinking about the team? Steve Downey does that. This one makes no sense for me. I do have good things to say for the most part about the first day of free agency, though. I have no problem with adding Christian Ehrhoff. He's a very skilled defenseman, especially on the power play. You hear a lot from people talking about the shot that he has, and your first thought is, this big booming slap shot. It's actually anything but. He's got a terrific wrist shot from the point, which is pretty much a dying art. And we're talking about Larry Murphy and Mo Mantha and players like that just had a gift for finding a way to flick the puck through traffic and onto the net. That's a commodity the Penguins can use. This is a team that has Chris Letang, or had Chris Letang, insanely out there on the power play, doing nothing other than getting his shots blocked repeatedly. This player, Ehrhoff, can work his way to the center point and get the puck through. That's a nice addition. There was a lot of negative feedback overall to the Penguins' first day. There's no doubt about that. There were a lot of people that were upset. I have a feeling that a lot of that would have been, if not all of it, would have been nullified had Nikolai Kulemin signed, the winger from Toronto who had 10 goals last year, or 9 goals, because he's Evgeny Malkin's best friend, and everybody could have put themselves at ease about who the top 6 are. They wouldn't have been fussing over it and panicking on July 1. Kulemin wouldn't have been any great get in and of himself, but he would have put everybody's minds at ease. Now Jim Rutherford gets the defenseman and then goes to the press conference and tells everybody, well, the top 6 forwards really not that important. And everybody flips out over it. What do you mean it's not important? Of course the guy thinks it's important. Then he tells everybody that, Kulemin, that probably doesn't look like it's going to get done. And everybody freaks again. What do you mean it's not going to get done? It looked like it was going to get done, and you gave it to another defenseman. How many defensemen do we need? GMs really aren't going to tell you everything. Rutherford looks like he's the kind that will, but he won't. What do you think really happened with Nikolai Kulemin? What do you think actually happened in that event? I'll tell you. The agent asked for too much. The agent thought, here, I got a team that has no choice but to sign my guy. They know Evgeny Malkin wants him. They've got all the pressure. And Rutherford turned it around on the guy. He turned it around on the guy and said, wait a second. You have the client. You have the client that only wants to play in Pittsburgh. And he's going to call that guy's bluff on it. And that guy's going to come and play for Pittsburgh at a much lower rate than whatever would have been initially discussed going into today, and maybe even on a one-year deal based on the precedent we've seen from all these other signings. Are you panicking over the Penguins? If you are, call me at 412-320-7925. Let me hear from you. You also can email us at sportstalk@tribweb.com.